It was a tiger that had been hungry for 5 days and a gift from the father to his daughter during the day. He asked the workers to seal all the doors and windows of his home at night, and quietly put the gift in late at night. The daughter got up to find water to drink but was unaware that she had become the prey. After drinking water, the girl returned upstairs but suddenly heard a roar. Actually appeared a tiger. The girl was terrified. Look at the size of at least 500 kilograms. She quietly turned around and returned to her room to hold back her fear, to lock the door, turn off the lamp. She wanted to open the window to escape, but found that the window has been boarded up. The girl then remembered that her stepfather, in order to prevent the typhoon, said yesterday to strengthen the house, but did not expect to make the house into her coffin. The girl wanted to call for help, but the phone was left in the downstairs bathroom. She peered down through the doorway and found no sign of the tiger. The girl quickly crossed the corridor to her brother's room. She whispered to him to get up, and again the window here was sealed. There was no response from her brother, and she lifted the covers to find that he was not in bed. He can't have gone downstairs. The girl could only go downstairs, to the corner. She carefully observed no tiger. She rushed into the bathroom immediately to find the phone to call the police, but the phone came to her need to wait for the prompt. The girl was anxious, so she first opened the door, softly call her brother's name, but a low roar came from behind her. She turned her head and saw a huge shadow reflected on the wall. The girl ran to the back door and opened it to see that it was still a heavy wooden panel. The girl hit the board as hard as she could and even got down and kicked it with her feet, but the loud noise also attracted the tiger to her. She had to hide in the bathroom again and look at the corner of the window board. There is actually some loose. She immediately picked up the iron and hurriedly smashed it, because at the moment the tiger was right outside the door. The fragile wooden door was about to be untenable. The girl hurriedly brought a garbage can to step on it and desperately climbed up to the pipe above her. She tried again and again and finally climbed up at the critical moment. The tiger swept right under her. The tiger was dying of hunger, and at the top of its head, a girl was huddled in the ventilation duct, her feet desperately stirring upwards, her arms not daring to have a hint of relaxation. Suddenly the cell phone on the ground rang. It was the police, but the tiger clawed it to smithereens. And worse, the girl's strength slumped a great deal. She panted heavily and struggled hard upward. Suddenly a bead of sweat fell down the pipe and the tiger was attracted by the smell and licked it clean, then lifted its head. The girl was discovered. Cold sweat, but the tiger suddenly pounced. Sharp claws like knives, only 0.01 centimeters from her body. In this moment of life and death, the girl shouted out all her strength and climbed upwards a little, and finally climbed out of the pipe in a frightening way. The extreme tension with her tired body made the girl tired to the extreme. She gasped and tried to calm herself. Just turned, his brother suddenly appeared. The girl was stunned. It turned out that his brother was suffering from autism, unable to communicate with people normally. The girl took her brother into her room. She opened the computer to call for help from the internet, but the network was disconnected. That's when the tiger came rushing up. She immediately sprinkled perfume around, then took her brother to hide under the bed, and the tiger broke into the room, but the perfume covered up their smell. Suddenly the brother reached out and tried to grab the tiger's tail, but was hastily stopped by the girl, and then the tiger leaped onto the bed, and his heavy body pressed the bedboard against the girl below. At this point the tiger disappeared and the girl turned her head to look around and she looked behind the bed. Then the tiger dug his head into the bottom of the bed, and the huge force lifted the bed over instantly. The siblings were trapped in the corner of the bed, but this also happened to block the tiger's attack. The girl opened the door with difficulty and rushed downstairs with her brother. The girl quickly went to the kitchen and took out a box of pureed meat from the refrigerator. She formed the meat into pills and stuffed the sleeping pills into it, then threw the meat pills in all corners of the room. The tiger smelled the smell and came, but at this time the brother relapsed and kept screaming, so the girl had to carry him upstairs by force. But the tiger who ate the meatballs did not feel a thing. At the moment they hiding in a closet, and the tiger also followed up. The girl was so scared that she held her breath, but only to see the tiger getting closer and closer until they were just a door away. Through the faint gap they saw each other. The fear reached its peak. Even the girl could see the tiger in the sharp fangs overflowing with saliva. She immediately turned and slammed the wall behind her with a stick, and the thin boards were soon smashed open. While the tiger was about to chew through the cabinet door, the girl sent her brother out first, then followed immediately, but was still too late. The left leg was directly torn open by the tiger's flesh, but in the hole is very small. The tiger cannot get out. can only poke out his head and keep hissing. The girl picked up an iron bar and smashed the tiger, then pulled her brother to escape, and they hid in her stepfather's room. The girl ripped open a piece of clothing for bandaging, but then she found an insurance policy on the floor, and the insured on it was actually her and her brother, while the beneficiary was her stepfather. She finally understood that the conspiracy was planned by her stepfather in order to cheat the huge amount of compensation. When she looked up, she found 4 bullets in the closet. She searched for them and found a revolver in the drawer. The girl did not dare to breathe. A tiger swept past her. The powerful aura made her body tremble. The girl went around behind the tiger and raised her gun to the tiger, but she didn't know that the chamber had no bullets. The girl panicked, shot again, and turned to run, but the tiger was unharmed. She hid into the kitchen. The tiger jumped directly on the stove. The girl took the opportunity to turn on the switch. The flame ignited. The tiger was hot jumped. The girl followed the trend into the bathroom, then picked up the iron, desperately smashed into the board. At the same time, the tiger's front paws have squeezed in. Finally, the girl smashed open the window. The fierce storm came head-on. The tiger rushed to her. At the last moment, the girl jumped out of the window and escaped. She rushed into the car and started the car without thinking, but suddenly she thought that her brother was still inside, and if she left, he would die. The girl did not have any hesitation. She got up and got out of the car and climbed back through the window. She picked up the pistol, only 1 bullet left inside, and then carefully searched the room, and finally saw her brother in the corner of the closet. The two came to the bathroom with a cloth wrapped around a wooden stick, sprinkled alcohol on it, then lit into a torch, and then the 2 siblings went down. At that moment, the tiger broke through the fence and leapt down. The girl raised the torch and pistol, and the tiger confrontation only rubbed the flesh of the tiger, but really pissed it off. But the burning flames kept the tiger at bay, and the girl backed away while waving. With the tiger still looking for an opportunity to come into the kitchen, the girl let her brother hide in the refrigerator, then threw the torch at the tiger, and got into it herself. Fortunately, the refrigerator they had just bought was so hard that they spent a long night huddled inside. The next day, the girl gently opened the freezer and saw no sign of the tiger. She gently called her brother out. When the wooden panel of the door was finally opened and the stepfather walked in with his gun raised, he had come to collect the bodies of the 2 siblings. When he saw that the girl was still alive with her brother, the stepfather was very shocked, and then his face changed and he closed the door. The girl saw that the stepfather was going to kill him. "Tom doesn't know everything that's going on here. Can you let him go?" That's what your mother said at the time. The girl then realized that her mother had also been murdered by her stepfather. More talk is useless. The stepfather is ready to do. Suddenly the tiger pounced. The stepfather died. The siblings took the opportunity to escape.